Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. This is Property Management 101, and today we'll be discussing the best practices for leasing techniques via email. This video will apply best for anyone regardless of the demographic or asset type. If you're working with a prospect and they have not yet made a decision to move forward with an application, please keep in mind the following best practices. Number one, you're really going to want to personalize your response. I wouldn't recommend giving a default message that you give every single time to every single prospect. Make sure that your response is personalized to really fit what their wants and needs are. And if you don't know this yet, then this is the early part where you should be asking them a lot of questions. What are they looking for in a new home? What kind of floor plan are they looking for? How many bedrooms? When are you looking to move in? Are you bringing a pet? Those are the types of questions I would be asking early on to really try to collect as much information as you can for them to really make sure you're providing the information that'll help them make a decision or not. Second best practice to keep in mind, include detail. I have comp shop properties throughout the country, and I'm so surprised how often I get this same message where I'll be contacted by the property and they'll simply ask, without providing any information of what they have available or any of the information we've talked about, have you made a decision in your housing choice yet? And to me, this is a poor level of customer service because you're asking the prospect to provide you information rather than providing the prospect with information that will really help them make their housing choice. If you're working with a prospect that you know is interested in 2 bedrooms, for example, here's some of the information that I think will be helpful to follow up and or provide to them in those initial responses. Give them some example of the different types of layouts of 2 bedrooms you have. Maybe give them a price range. Maybe give them a list of the available units and where they're located on the property. Maybe list out the features or the square footage of the units that you have available that are 2 bedrooms. Also talk about some of your 2 bedrooms you have coming available in the future that are on notice. Maybe include some attachments of your different 2-bedroom layouts, and maybe even provide some pictures of the views from the 2 bedrooms if you have those handy as well. And these are just some of the examples that I would recommend providing to a prospect that'll help them make a decision if your property is potentially the right fit for them or not. If you're enjoying this video and learning something new, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications for future videos. And the last best practice I would recommend to anyone that's working with a prospect via email. The goal of every single email conversation with a prospect should be eventually to get them to come to the property for a tour to actually see if this is a good fit for them or not. Oftentimes a prospect will really make or break their decision of if this is going to be a consideration for them to live based on the tour that they are given. When you're discussing details with a prospect, one of the things that's going to be hard to really visualize is the atmosphere of the property until the prospect is physically there. So this is why it's so important for every step that you're providing them information. I would be asking them, would you like to schedule a tour? Would you like to look at available dates you may be able to come? We can cross-reference our calendars to get a time that works for both of us. And this is something I would definitely be asking them almost every single time you're communicating with them via email. The other thing to consider is this. Some prospects, unfortunately, are planning to sign an application and or a lease sight unseen. Maybe they're out of state, moving to the area, and they're going to have to move right into a place. So this is something you could still schedule with them a time to perform a remote video tour. So this is something you could still work towards. I would still highly recommend, if it's maybe on the fence if that prospect is able to come to the property or not, if they're physically at the property, it's going to give them a better expectation what that property is and offers. So that's something, if you're able to convince them to come to the property prior to signing, I would always recommend taking that step. If you've not already done so, please watch my disclosure video as well as my why do this video. I will provide both of the links to those videos in the description. If you do have any questions about this video or any of my videos, feel free to comment. I'll be happy to address it for you. And if you did learn something new and enjoyed this video today, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for future videos. Happy leasing!